The Yellow River. It flows across the North China Plain. Its waters, often turbulent and prone to flooding, were both a blessing and a curse for early settlers. Around 7000 BCE, agriculture emerged along its banks. This marked the beginning of Chinese civilization. These early communities relied on the river for irrigation and sustenance. They cultivated millet and later rice, staples that would sustain Chinese society for millennia.
The river's fertile silt, deposited during floods, provided rich soil for agriculture. However, the same floods could be devastating, destroying crops and settlements. This constant interplay between bounty and destruction shaped the worldview of early Chinese. They saw a need to appease the forces of nature through rituals and offerings.
The Yellow River Valley was not a land of easy abundance. It demanded hard work, ingenuity, and cooperation. These values, forged in the crucible of survival, would become deeply ingrained in the Chinese character. Over time, these communities grew more sophisticated. They developed pottery, tools, and social structures. They laid the foundation for the dynasties that would follow. China, in its early days, was not always the unified entity we know today. It was a land of diverse cultures and communities, separated by geography. To the east lay the vast Pacific Ocean. To the west, the towering peaks of the Tibetan Plateau and the unforgiving Gobi Desert. To the south, dense jungles and mountain ranges. These natural barriers fostered a sense of isolation. They also shaped the development of Chinese identity. Cut off from the outside world, early Chinese communities looked inward. They developed unique customs, beliefs, and languages. They saw themselves as distinct from the nomadic peoples of the steppes. These nomads, often perceived as a threat, were a stark contrast to the settled agricultural life of the Chinese. The natural barriers, while isolating, also provided a degree of protection. This allowed Chinese civilization to flourish without significant external influence for centuries. This isolation fostered a sense of self-sufficiency. It also contributed to a belief in the uniqueness and superiority of Chinese culture. This belief, known as Sinocentrism, would have a profound impact on China's interactions with the outside world for centuries to come. As the centuries passed, settlements along the Yellow River grew in size and complexity. Around 2070 BCE, the first dynasty in Chinese history emerged, the Jia dynasty. Although shrouded in legend and lacking definitive archaeological evidence, the Jia is credited with establishing a hereditary system of rule. This set the stage for the dynastic cycles that would define China's history. Following the Xia, the Shang dynasty, from around 1600 to 1046 BCE, ushered in a new era of sophistication. The Shang are renowned for their mastery of bronze casting. They created elaborate vessels and weapons, showcasing their technological prowess. Moreover, the Shang developed a system of writing. This was a pivotal moment in Chinese history. It allowed for the recording of history, communication across distances, and the development of a complex bureaucratic system. After the Shang came the Zhou dynasty, the longest-lasting dynasty in Chinese history, ruling from 1046 to 256 BCE. The Zhou era was marked by significant political and social changes. They established a feudal system. This decentralized power, granting regional lords autonomy in exchange for loyalty to the Zhou king. This period also witnessed the emergence of ironworking, further advancing their technological capabilities. The Zhou dynasty laid the groundwork for the philosophical and intellectual flourishing that would characterize later periods. The Zhou dynasty introduced the Mandate of Heaven, a concept that shaped Chinese political thought for centuries. It held that the ruler's legitimacy stemmed from a divine mandate. This mandate was conditional. Natural disasters or social unrest were signs that the mandate had been withdrawn. This justified rebellion and the rise of a new dynasty.
The Zhou period also saw the emergence of Confucianism and Taoism. Confucius emphasized social harmony and ethical behavior. Taoism, attributed to Lao Tzu, emphasized living in harmony with the Tao. Taoists sought balance and tranquility. Both philosophies provided moral frameworks for Chinese society.
Section 5. The Qin Dynasty, Unification, and the Great Wall. By the 3rd century BCE, the Zhou dynasty had crumbled into a period of warring states.
From this chaos emerged the state of Qin, led by King Zheng. Through military campaigns, I united China in 221 BCE. I then took the title Qin Shi Huang, first emperor of Qin.
His reign was marked by reforms, centralizing power, and standardizing culture. He abolished the feudal system, dividing the empire into provinces.
One of my enduring legacies is the Great Wall, built to protect the empire from northern invaders.
Despite its achievements, the Qin dynasty was short-lived. Following Qin Shi Huang's death, the dynasty quickly collapsed. However, its impact on China was profound, establishing a unified state. Section 6. The Han Dynasty, a golden age. After the fall of the Qin, China entered a new era of prosperity and stability under the Han Dynasty, which spanned from 206 BCE to 220 CE. The Han Dynasty is often considered a golden age in Chinese history, marked by significant cultural, scientific, and territorial achievements. The Han emperors adopted Confucianism as the state philosophy, promoting social harmony and ethical governance. This period witnessed a flourishing of art, literature, and scholarship. The Han emperors expanded the empire's borders, pushing south into Vietnam and north towards Korea, laying the groundwork for China's future territorial extent. The Han Dynasty was also a time of significant scientific and technological advancements. Paper was invented during this period, revolutionizing communication and scholarship. The Han also made significant strides in astronomy, mathematics, and medicine. The invention of the water clock and the seismograph, a device to measure earthquakes, are testaments to their ingenuity. This golden age of the Han Dynasty left an enduring legacy on Chinese civilization, shaping its culture, identity, and worldview for centuries to come. Section 7. The Silk Road and Cultural Exchange. Under the Han Dynasty, China's interactions with the outside world increased dramatically with the opening of the Silk Road. This network of trade routes stretched from the Han capital of Chang'an, which is modern-day Xi'an, westward across Central Asia, reaching the Roman Empire and beyond. The Silk Road facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures between East and West. Silk, a highly prized commodity produced in China, was traded for horses, glassware, textiles, and other goods from the West. The Silk Road was not merely a conduit for trade, it was also a path for the dissemination of knowledge and beliefs. Buddhism, which originated in India, traveled along the Silk Road to China, where it gained a significant following. The Silk Road brought new ideas and technologies to China, enriching its culture and contributing to its intellectual development. The exchange of goods and ideas along the Silk Road had a profound impact on both China and the West, fostering cultural exchange and shaping the course of history. Section 8. Continuity and change, ancient China's enduring legacy. The Han Dynasty, like those that preceded it, eventually declined, collapsing in 220 CE. China entered a period of division and turmoil. However, the foundations laid by these early dynasties, particularly the Han, had a lasting impact on Chinese civilization. The Chinese script, developed during the Shang Dynasty, continued to evolve, but remained a unifying force. Confucianism, embraced by the Han, became deeply ingrained in Chinese society, shaping its moral and ethical values. The concept of the mandate of heaven continued to legitimize dynastic rule for centuries. The traditions of centralized government, bureaucratic administration, and a meritocratic system for selecting officials, all established during these early dynasties, persisted through numerous dynastic changes. Ancient China's legacy is evident in modern China's cultural practices, festivals, and values. The Lunar New Year, a time for family reunions and celebrations, has roots in ancient agricultural rituals. The Dragon Boat Festival, with its dragon boat races and zongzi, or sticky rice dumplings, commemorates the poet and patriot Qu Yuan from the Warring States period. Section 9. Modern China, Echoes of the Past. The echoes of ancient China resonate in modern China in profound ways. The Great Wall, a symbol of China's enduring strength, remains a source of national pride. Confucian values such as filial piety, respect for elders, and the pursuit of harmony continue to influence social interactions and family structures. The Chinese language, with its characters that have evolved over millennia, provides a tangible link to the past.
The legacy of ancient China's innovations is also evident in modern China's technological prowess. From high-speed rail to space exploration, China is once again at the forefront of innovation, drawing on its long tradition of scientific inquiry and technological advancement. Modern China, while embracing modernity and progress, remains deeply connected to its ancient past. The values, traditions, and historical consciousness forged over millennia continue to shape the world's most populous nation.